find it?
Yeah, it might take them a couple minutes.
Ready? Okay. So let me get it on so people have time to find it.
I gotta tell people
Okay, we're live.
it's on.
Yep, we're live. Okay, we're live. So
We're live right now. Can I so we left it. Okay, so act live now or 5 minutes? No. And they're actually it's fine. See if I get it. It's not exactly
Folks are on the CBSRZ page. They don't need to get, I'm walking away now. No, I see it. Thank you for the secret. It was just funny. That's a great idea. Yeah, I was doing something and I'm thinking, of course.
I get it.
If you just look for CBSRZ. Why would we? I didn't want to recreate the wheel. You just look for CBSRZ.
Shake hands, but it's no longer socially appropriate.
Okay, go ahead, check it out. Following her progress in her path, and so it's like,
I'm hugging you from here.
I'm talking to people through the live stream and through my phone.
Awesome. I'll get out of your way.
He says, oh, hey, honey, you shouldn't have them down.
That's okay.
There it goes. My bad. Hey.
Probably the only good thing this week. There's only probably one good thing. I'll email you his information. I'm driving to work yesterday down North Main Street, and there are a couple little shops, including one that's like this, it's been like this funky antique shopping thing. And in his window, I was like so amazingly surprised on there. And it's very it's just
I have it, Tom.
so it's Essex. Essex.
Downtown Essex.
So I, of course, I was on my way to work, so I parked my car. I did. I went in and I talked to him, and I got a book. He's originally South African, then emigrated to Israel, and now
Is he
lives.
Jewish?
Yes. he's very shy. He's been here, I guess, meditating outside. So I'm going to send you his contacts.
You're good, Dad.
Yes.
Down a little bit, if I need to sit there too, so someone can turn off.
Hi, Dave.
No. Yeah, lock your car.
The car's in my garage.
No, I understand, but it's just that it's people out.
Couple of days already. Sit. 3 feet from somebody? Is this 3 feet? It's 4 feet. And then I'm not sitting next to it. I know. That's all horses, right? Oh, yeah, do you like? Oh, yeah. And then there you go. Yeah. That's about right. I don't know. Not late, but I have looked at it. It's a dirty world.
But you're okay, you're well? I'm giving you a hug, just so you know. I know. I'm hugging you.
Your dogs have more sense than you.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
So Jody and Beth and Jeff, this is Robin and Roger. I did their wedding just 12 years ago in Manhattan, and Paige's baby naming 9 years ago, 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago. And other life cycle events, and they happen to be in town. And so it's like just another. If it was a different week, we'd all give you hugs.
Virtual hugs.
We're a huggy congregation, it's really nice. We're all.
There's lots of twitching. Surprised to see you guys out tonight.
We're fine.
We're fine.
We're old, but we're not that old.
I just arranged some balloons and I did my best to
for the peacefulness, for the opportunity to pause from the craziness of a week that was unexpectedly challenging. Facing questions and decisions and fears that I think we never would have imagined we'd have to face. And finally, we're at Shabbat, and it's not it's hard to have 100% of a Shabbat, but let's aim for at least a 60% Shabbat. We can even aim for more. I'll leave it up to you what percentage you're aiming for. But let's aim for even a little Shabbat. So, what do you think?
Shabbat 110%.
Gloria. Gloria, 100%.
Maximize the candles.
Maximize the maximize the candles. Yeah. Gloria, love, how do you think? So we are going to aim for whatever percentage feels right for you of Shabbat. Let's all take a nice, deep Shabbat breath. Inhale out. Try to let go of some of the worry, some of the anxiety, some of the mishigas. Take another nice deep breath. Feel yourself present in this moment, here in this sacred space, getting ready for Shabbat. And there's a term that is finally getting a little bit of pushback, and that term that's been used so much is social distancing. And what's really hard about that is it's not social distancing, right? It's physical distancing. If we're social distancing, that is creating a sense of isolation and loneliness that is not necessary at this time. It's physical distancing. We need to be standing apart from each other, but we don't need to be socially apart. In fact, right now, we need to be closer than ever socially. And so how do we do that? We're going to connect with love. And so our opening song tonight is how we're going to continue to build this world with love. Olam chesed yibaneh. Olam chesed yibaneh.
Chesed
Cedar Ream and turn together to page 120. And just a reminder that if your prayer book happens to strangely have 2 page numbers in the corner, as we announce page numbers, you'll be following the ones in the brackets. So page 120 for the lighting and the blessing of the Shabbat candles. And it's an honor to invite up the mother of the Bat Mitzvah this weekend, Izzy Greenberg. Is a great reading. It's Jewish too, of course, right? Prayer of the Kohanim, or the hand gesture of the Kohanim, of the high priests. So feel free as you greet people, for those of you who can't do this with your hands, this Trekkie approves. Let's turn to page 138. To continue to welcome Shabbat even more into our space tonight with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, Likratala, Lene Shabbat, Lene Kapela, Lecha Dodi, Likratala, Lene Shabbat, Lene Kapela. Shamoy Zafor, Beti joined on the bima by Sadie Cohen, our bat mitzvah this Shabbat. We're so excited to celebrate with you, so welcome to the bima. And while we are standing, we will remain standing, by the way, and of course, avoiding shaking hands, but please take a moment to greet the people near you, introduce yourselves if you don't know them, and wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, you can wait for the people on the camera as well. Shabbat Shalom.
All our family on the live stream.
Robert's on the left. Hi, Robert.
I don't blame anyone.
Let's turn together to page 144 for the Chapsi Kaddish. Amen. Page 148.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are the creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tziva'ot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai, hamari haravi. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, ahavta, Torah mitzvot, chuvim mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, Lishabeinu v'neinu, Nasiah.
before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Page 160. Let's all read together in English. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. 65, as we prepare for the tefillah tonight, seems especially poignant. The prayers in the book, as different things happen in the world, always take on different meanings, even if we've said them hundreds, if not thousands of times before. And where we find ourselves this week, we may find ourselves praying more, but we also have to take on personal responsibility quite a bit more as well, for ourselves and for others. Our behavior directly affects the health and well-being of our neighbors and of our fellow community members in a way that perhaps it doesn't usually. And so we pray as if everything depended on God, but oh boy, we sure act as if everything depends on us. Please rise. We continue silently now through page 180. You can pray, of course, in Hebrew or English, and include the words of your own hearts and souls, and you may be seated when you have finished your prayers. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos and Bruchim Habayim once again. Welcome. For those of you who are longtime members of the CBSRZ family, we are really actually quite honored that you chose to be here tonight. We had no idea what to expect, so thank you for being here. For those of you who are visiting because of a simcha, a celebration, or because you happen to be in the neighborhood, we are so glad that you are here, and we hope you feel like part of the family as well. Please make yourselves at home. All of you add to the spirit, to the soul of what we have created here tonight, and it's very special and it's very healing. I hope and I feel for all of us. I think it's what we need right now. At the risk of a cliche, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It just feels like what we need. Thank you all for being here tonight. The world does need a lot of healing. And so before we turn to our prayers of healing for our family members and our community members, I wanted to share with you a prayer that I shared on our CBSRZ page, written by Rabbi Naomi Levy, called A Prayer of Hope During This Pandemic. You might have seen it online. And it is quite beautiful. She writes, "We are frightened, God, worried for our loved ones, worried for our world, helpless and confused. We turn to you seeking comfort, faith, and hope. Teach us, God, to turn our panic into patience and our fear into acts of kindness and support. Our strong must watch out for our weak. Our young must take care of our old. Help each one of us to do our part to halt the spread of this virus. Send strength and courage to the doctors and nurses in the front lines of this battle. Fortify them with the full force of their healing powers. Send wisdom and insight to the scientists working day and night across the world to discover healing treatments. Bless their efforts, God. Fill our leaders with the wisdom and the courage to choose wisely and act quickly. Help us, God, to see that we are one world, one people, who will rise above this pandemic together. Send us health, God. Watch over us. Grace us with your love. Bless us with your healing light. Hear us, God. Heal us, God. Amen. And we add to our prayers for all those who have been stricken by COVID-19 the names of our dear ones, our family members and friends, our community members who are ill, who are in pain, who are suffering. Those for whom we are praying for wholeness and for peacefulness and for wellness. Reagan Konecki, John D. Nicola, Nancy Schwam, Miriam Swidler, Charles Sabat, Burl Bellows, Carrie Bellows, Debbie Clymer, Daphne Rosenberg, Autumn Jade St. John, Joyce Giuseppe, Savannah Johnson, Lenore Lesser, Jimmy Imbrogno, Denise Davies, Bención Benbarrel Usha, Ruben Starkman, Aubrey Berkhamshaw, Jack Davis, Rita Fink, Peter Pohelos, Ronnie Burson-Weiner, Mark Gruenfeld, Gay Clarkson, Barbara Edelson, Roberta Block, and Lori Smith. Who else are you praying for tonight and whose name you'd like to share out loud?
David Vanderstaff.
Norman Hannenbaum.
Candace Beck. Yishaber Havotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, v'Imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel, v'Yivarech, v'Yirpeh, Kol HaCholim Ha'ela. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, bless and heal all who are ill, all who are sick, all who are in pain. And may they soon return to us, blessed with shlemut, blessed with peacefulness and with wholeness, blessed with a healing of mind and of body and of spirit. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh Cholim, we praise you, God, who cares for the sick. And let us all say together, Amen. Let's turn to page 371 and join together in the Shabbat. And we have those in our lives who have healed, who have recovered from surgery and illness and injury, those who have traveled far away and have come back home safely, those who have escaped danger in any way. And so on behalf of those who have experienced those incredible gifts, which we never ever want to take for granted, we praise you, God, who allows good things to happen in the world around us. And let us all say together, Amen. And thank goodness we have simchas, we have happy occasions to celebrate in our lives. And first and foremost, we want to wish a mazel tov to Sadie and to her friends and family on the occasion of her becoming a bat mitzvah. Now, I want to recognize that due to circumstances beyond all of our control, this is not looking like how you all pictured. But Sadie is an unbelievable individual, and your maturity and your grace has been beyond anything we expected as well. And it is our honor, truly, to share this event with you. And so we wish you all a mazel tov. And it's really our privilege to get to share this day with you, just as it is. So congratulations to everybody. It's going to be an incredible morning tomorrow. I also have to share, and I hope you don't mind me singling you out. Dear friends of mine are here in the congregation as well. The Marquis family, Robin and Roger, and their daughter Paige, who were congregants of mine at my first congregation at Shari Tefillah in Manhattan. And they happened to be in Connecticut tonight and texted me to say, can we come to services? And they haven't been here before, obviously those people are regulars. And I've had the privilege of, I officiated at their wedding 12 years ago. I officiated at Paige's baby naming, and now she is almost 11. I'm getting it right. She is a camper for a number of years at Crane Lake, and we have some Crane Lake parents here. Well, and some Isley parents as well. And It's just a pleasure to have you here tonight. So another wonderful Jewish occasion we get to share together. And it's like killing me not to be able to give them big hugs, but it's okay. It's wonderful to have you here. So who else has a simcha? A birthday, an anniversary, some other joyous occasion that you would like to share? Yes, Gloria. Are we reaching 110%, by the way?
What?
Are we at 110%?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
First off, Sadie. Yay, Sadie.
Yay, Sadie.
Second off, my friend left Italy the day after they started like quarantining, because the day after someone got diagnosed, or before.
Boy.
Before.
Yes.
She like just made it out of Italy.
Boy.
You'll all want to see 6 feet of paper. First ever that.
How close is this friend of yours? Clearly you're okay.
You're all gonna
She says with
get it. I
assurance.
totally just breathed all over Sadie's not funny. All over.
But luckily your friend is okay.
Yeah.
Great.
She wanted to stay in Italy. She's in Italy right now.
We are very happy for your friend that she got home safely. That's great. Great. Thank you. What else? You got more for us? I know. It's okay. What else is going on in people's lives? Other celebrations?
Everything's canceled.
Yeah, everything's
I just canceled, so.
Everything. Yes, Sadie. Here's the thing, actually, and I encourage you to look out for this, is not everything is going to be canceled. In fact, we're going to be looking for all kinds of opportunities to actually keep a lot going. So keep an eye on your emails from the synagogue. We have the benefit of all kinds of technology. We have the ability to keep teaching adult ed classes and Torah study, and because of things like Zoom and Google Hangout and different Microsoft team connections and things like that, we can log on and all still have a conversation and learn together, and we're going to do that. The reason Scrollers is canceled tomorrow is that we just don't have the ability to do it yet, and we haven't had a chance to share with the Scrollers group the technology to do it and kind of tutor the group on how to do it. What was that? You said that out loud?
No. I was just thinking about teaching the scrollers how to use the technology.
We need a little time.
It's a particular demographic.
Right. We need a little time. Give me a week, right? So it's going to take, right, there's going to be a learning curve. So, but we're going to do it, right? So we can still have the conversation, and we're going to do that with other things as well. So with patience, we're going to still be able, even if we get to the point that many synagogues and churches have gotten to, where services are going to be canceled in this space, which we're not saying we're going to yet, but were we to, we encourage you to log on to our live stream. Or Belinda and I could, or I or Belinda could like sit in our kitchens and do, Shabbat for you. There's so many options, and we'll just make sure the backdrop is, you don't see, I don't know, laundry hanging up. Get a green screen and be like, I'm in Hawaii. The big pork hanging in the back. Is that what you just said? Oh, right, in Hawaii. Yeah, exactly. No, it'll be the hula dancers that I always have behind me. Purim is tomorrow night. I'm in the Purim mood. So yes, Sadie.
I'm not quite sure if this is a simcha or not. I've been told not to say it, but I'm going to say it.
So you've been told not to say it, but you're going to say it.
She's sandwiched by a little hesitation. Go ahead.
I think it's a simcha. My school is canceled indefinitely. So, I can stay in my pajamas while I do schoolwork.
That's pretty cool.
It's like that. That is a simcha.
That is a simcha. We might even say a machaya. Sure. Well, what's the word that's familiar in there? Is there in machaya, is there a word that's familiar? Chai. Life, right? It's like good living, Machaya is like, oh, this is the life. So right? So, being able to go to school in your pajamas every day, that's college, basically. You'll have a good time. things that are canceled, for jobs that are canceled, we want to keep an eye out for people in need, right? Even the Jewish Family Services in New Haven, they're closed, and their food pantry will therefore be closed. And so we just want to be aware that as, we want to be aware of food banks and food pantries that are open and make sure to be donating to them. It's one thing if we can afford to stock up for 2 weeks or more on food and toilet paper if we were able to find it. It's another for people who can't afford to stock up. So to just be aware of those in need, those whose paycheck, who live paycheck to paycheck or even barely, and let's do what we can. There are a lot of college students who now have nowhere to live. And so if you happen to have room in your house, there are ways you can access online to look for college students who need to move out yesterday and have nowhere to go. So I encourage you, if you have the ability to do a mitzvah like that, there's Wesleyan students who need a place to stay, and other college students even here, around Connecticut who are looking for a mitzvah. So yes, a tiny simcha, a simchet. $6. You got all the hand sanitizer. So,
It's us.
no, so be safe, right? Use it and keep your hands clean and wash your hands and think of good songs to sing while you're washing your hands. And we all are prepared. And we want to help everybody be prepared. So, anybody else? Good? No? All right. So what I wanted to do tonight, and I want to say, Sadie is looking at this moment in the Torah portion from a different angle tomorrow. So don't worry, I'm not stealing your thunder, all right? I'm not gonna. You're gonna bring the thunder tomorrow. Okay. This week's Torah portion, Ki Tisa, includes a very, very famous incident that we are all very aware of because it's the building of an idol following profound examples and proof of God's existence, right? Think about it, we're in the book of Exodus in our annual reading of the Torah. We've been freed from Egypt, right? Which God, parted the Red Sea. We had seen the 10 plagues with our very own eyes. We had seen the sea part. We crossed through on dry land. We made our way to Mount Sinai. We had the crazy synesthetic experience of then receiving the 10 Commandments. And now we're walking through the desert, we're continuing to receive laws and experiencing God with the pillar of fire that's guiding us. And yet, we're also kind of still at the foot of Sinai, because there's weird chronology of this part of the Torah. And we're finding out that Moses is still up on top of the mountain. And we're finding out that Moses is up there for 40 days. And the people who had lived in Egypt, or at least the Israelites, had been there as slaves for 400 years. So think about, America, how long has America been around? And our society has been built, right, for 200 plus. Imagine what Israelite society had been for 400 years. And what we, how we must have been built, and the complacency and how adapted to slavery, as well as to being surrounded by what Egyptian culture was. Whether or not this actually happened, I know we all have our questions about that, but let's go with this for a moment. But it is relevant to the story, is here we are. The man who has declared himself our leader has been up on that mountain. The deity who has declared itself our deity is nowhere to be seen, heard, anything, experienced. And now what? It's been 40 days. And what do we feel? And how do we even begin to express what we feel? Okay? So, as I said, Sadie's going to be talking about this from her viewpoint tomorrow. But I wonder if that feeling that the Israelites were feeling, the questioning, the lack of answers, the helplessness, was maybe a little similar to how some of us might be feeling right now. Please just tell us what to do and where to go and how to fix this. Obviously, it's not the same situation, but I think some of the anxiety is probably the same. So what I wanted to do was to ask the question of, for those who want to share, how are you feeling right now? In this very unique moment, you can link it to what you imagine the Israelites might have been feeling, but you can also just share, how has this week or this couple of weeks been for you? Yeah, Laura.
Probably like really overwhelming. And they're probably feeling overwhelmed because their meeting was up on the mountain, they're sitting in the desert.
So they're leaderless. They're overwhelmed. You're feeling overwhelmed, you said. Yeah. Do you want to say more about that part of it?
Mainly because like they canceled everything.
So they canceled everything.
Yeah.
And so is there a feeling of, oh yeah, go ahead.
The library is closed, which is terrible. Very.
If you don't know Gloria, she's a big reader. There's always a book in her hand. So without the library.
Yeah. I went there and I stocked up. You know.
Smart. Very smart. As many books as you can carry. And then some.
More than I can probably.
Yeah. So there's, what am I going to do? Will there be enough for me to do in this time? Okay. Does anyone else want to add to what Gloria started us with? She bravely started us off.
I think it's hard to figure out what to organize yourself around. Our family has had this weekend to organize ourselves around, but I don't know how I'm going to organize myself next week. I like it very regimented. Go to school, there's none of that now. And so it's a little bit, it's not a vacation. It's not like I just have a week off. It's hard to understand what time will look like. And that is disorienting for me.
So in case you missed what Izzy was saying, their lives have been organized around work and the bat mitzvah. Yeah, is that pretty much expressing what you said? But then now after this weekend, with everything canceled, what is time going to be? How are you going to organize your time? It's not vacation, right? It's not going to be relaxed. So how do you even begin this strange, disorienting time? How do you figure out what time it is? Is that pretty much what you were saying? Yeah. Right. What do we do with ourselves? Right? Yeah.
So I can relate to
Laura.
Gloria
Yeah.
and Izzy, because on a personal level, my life was upended because my routine was built around my work, which is working with seniors.
Mm.
And I was called by Tuesday morning and told, you can't come in.
Yeah.
And has been my mission for the last 10 years. So I didn't know how to organize, and what do I do with my time now that I have to go? So I had to spend a lot of time thinking about, is that being, I'm thinking about myself. And a friend interjected when I said, I can't go to work, this is how I earn a living. She said, well, just put it into perspective. But people globally are losing their lives. So, you're just going to be, your routine is going to be disrupted for a while, and you have your health so far.
Yeah. So if your work is working with seniors, and we know that nursing homes and hospitals and various health facilities, right, have been locked down. Yeah, that people have been said, you can't come. Now what do you do? Your entire routine, your work has been cut off. What do you do? Who are you right now? Yeah, your identity shifts in this time. Who am I if I'm not going there every day? Personally, I have to share, related to that, both of my parents are in facilities right now. My mother's in the hospital, and my father's in a long-term care facility. Neither of them can be visited right now. They're both in the Chicago area. And it's heartbreaking for our family that when my parents both need lots of TLC, they're A, not together, and B, we can't get to them. You know, and it's anxiety producing on so many levels, you know, and so for the residents of these places, we understand protecting them and keeping them safe. But it's also like reducing the human contact for people who already really need it is really, really tough. So, yeah, there's so many layers there. Who else wants to, yeah, Eva, how's it for you? Take a couple of people. Yeah, yeah, just a high five, right?
You're kind of like confused. Like, I want to high five you, but I can't. So, it's like the Israelites are like, well, like they didn't know what to say. I don't know. It's not that I don't know what to do with great stuff like that, you know?
Right.
So, or like you kind of like things like the Israelites are like, like, what do we do? Like,
So what did the Israelites do, right?
they never, they like melted on their own, they made it open cat. But, like, I'm sure that decision was hard.
Yeah.
Like, it probably felt like you were like disobeying God or something.
Yeah.
And so, you didn't really know what to do.
Right, so we have all this anxiety, like I can't high five, I can't shake hands, I can't even hug my friends hello. You know, all these social conventions that we're so used to that we don't even think about usually. You know, like I come here to synagogue, I shake hands, I hug, and then, you know, kiss hello. I can't do these things that are automatic, right? And so what were the Israelites doing? You know, that things maybe they had already gotten used to in the days since God had rescued them. So in their anxiety, they created the golden calf, right? They created a new God. And, you know, what was that like for them? They were trying to soothe that, whatever that craziness it was that they were feeling, but, you know, hopefully people aren't doing things like that now. You know, we know people joke about things they're purchasing that are probably not the smartest things that they're purchasing. You know, wine and things like that. Lots and lots of chocolate. There's lots and lots of chocolate being bought right now. Cookies.
Did you know one of the main things people are buying is fruit snacks, and then it's for dogs?
Fruit snacks.
It's like toilet paper, food, and then like fruit snacks.
Really? We're all soothed by fruit snacks. There's an interesting study to be done. It was like what was bought most during this pandemic. Let's hear one more person if someone else wants to share. Anyone else want to? Well, Laura, I'll come back to you, but I just want to hear if there's someone else. Yeah, John. What are you feeling right now?
Well, as a seeker of truth, and the truth will set you free, I think that we've been without a leader for a very long time, not just in this particular event. And I think that we have,
There's
in,
that parallel.
in this, a very long time. I think in beginning to hear the truth, not from a lying leader, but truth, the facts, although discomforting, really should give us a certain amount of a decrease in our anxiety. Because the real numbers, as there are more cases, then in factually the percentage of unfortunate results goes down. The people who are going to be in trouble, in serious trouble, really goes down. So that Moses disappeared, but I don't think he lied so that, well, not on an ongoing basis from day one. So I just, my feeling is that as we learn more and more, we have to face reality that there's going to be a plague, whatever you want to call it. But I think that as we look at it from the standpoint of truth and fact, it really is not the way our fear and our fear of the unknown has created it.
Sure, the fear of the unknown, right? It's the uncertainty, it's the fear of the unknown. Great point. So Seth loves all the disaster movies. I cannot watch them. They give me such panic and anxiety. And he loves them. You know, movies like, I don't know, the tornado, volcano movies and what? The what? Yeah, all the earthquake movies and 10.0, all the, world is going to, 2012, things like that. He just loves them because he sees them as total fantasy. I take them way too seriously. But I asked him today, I'm like, so in this situation where we are right now, what saves the day? What is the turning point where things start to get better? He's like, it's when they finally start listening to the scientists. Like that in every movie, that's a plot point where finally things start to get better. And I'm like, so let's do it. Let's listen to the scientists. So I think enough of us are that I hope so. If you've learned anything from ridiculous, I don't know, Sharknado counts, but listen to the scientists. Maybe Sharknado 5 or something, but listen to the scientists. Wash your hands. I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad you're spread out in safe ways. Does anyone, maybe one or two people, have a prayer that we heard from Rabbi Naomi Levy. One or two people have a prayer for us that you, just off the top of your head, extemporaneous, that you feel like saying? What's your prayer for us? It doesn't have to be especially profound. It just can be true and real. I hope that we, say, please. Please what? What is just please. Anyone else? Well, even if you're whispering one in your heart, take a moment to do that. May I amen your prayers. Thank you. Some announcements. I know there aren't many. This is not the announcement. That would be a pretty funny little shtick.
You said it. Small announcement. Yeah. Hold up the paper, so.
That was pretty fun. No, this is actually, thank you, Allie. This is Yale New Haven Health has a COVID-19 hotline with the most up-to-date information, yes. And it's available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And it's a very easy number to remember, and I'll have this available at the ONEG as well if anybody wants to write it down. It is 833-ASK-YNHH, Yale New Haven Health. Okay, 833-ASK-YNHH. And I know Johns Hopkins also has great information online. What? It's scary.
Go to the Johns Hopkins.
It's just scary. It's frightening. Well,
It's a little bit.
it's a little disaster movie.
Yeah.
David told us, yes.
On the same point, so www.ct.gov/DPH.
Yes.
And there's a bunch of links as soon as that's part of the public health website. And as soon as you pull up that screen, it will link you to all kinds of coronavirus information. The department's epidemiology section will constantly be updating not just how many tests and how many this and how many that, but information, scientific information as it becomes known, because there's a huge amount of research going on that isn't really covered in the national media.
Right.
It's sort of creating an epidemiological picture. So it's real easy, ct.gov/DPH.
Thank you. So there are resources that don't have to be alarmist, that just can be facts and truth for all of us who are seekers of truth. Tomorrow morning, Strollers is canceled as we build a different way of meeting. And we have Sadie's bat mitzvah at 10:30. The Europe trip, as of right now, which we have a wonderful banner outside, is on. We're going to talk about it in a month when the travel ban is presumably done. And I'm going to speak with the travel agent we're working with and see what the latest information is. And we're postponing the informational meeting that was scheduled for this coming Tuesday night when we have a little more information. If we need to reschedule the Europe trip, we will, but as of right now, it is on. And the Hot Topics class is also canceled for now. That was going to be on Thursday. And again, that's probably one of those things that we'll reschedule and do electronically in a little bit, once we have more of that stuff up and running. As of right now, next Friday night is services, and Alex and Zach Infeld will be speaking about their experience attending the Litak Kane Social Justice Teen Seminar in Washington, D.C., where they had a chance to learn all about current events going on from a Reformed Jewish point of view, and then they went and actually advocated and lobbied on the Hill with our legislators, and they're going to share what that experience was like and how profound it was. And their father, Eric, had a chance to accompany them as a chaperone and as a teacher in Kivun, so wearing both hats. And so no matter what, we'll make sure that they have a chance to share their message and educate all of us about what they did. Keep an eye on your emails. We're going to be sending updates, if maybe daily, probably not, but frequently. So just keep an eye as we are sending updates on what's happening and what's not. The congregational seder, if you didn't see, is canceled. Women's seder, sadly, is canceled. Just keep an eye on some of those things. Finally, thank you to the Conley family for sponsoring tonight's phone egg in honor of Sadie's bat. Yes.
One small public announcement.
Please.
So we usually have people help themselves. Tonight, kind of being sensitive to health concerns, I will serve. I'm going to wear gloves. I'm going to go wash my hands right now. I'm going to wear gloves, use tongs. So you're just going to grab plates and just I'll load up your plates.
Great.
Okay. So not self-serve this evening. And Gloria is not serving. She will be standing in a corner with one cookie that she can breathe on.
And you probably don't know this as well, is that the Tyranny Lachala is suspended indefinitely for a little while, because that's just not sensible right now. As well as Mitzvah Voila. We'll all just think voila. So let's turn to our concluding prayers. Page 586 for Elena and Sadie and Eva. You guys want to come up and open the ark? Yeah. Come on up. Everyone else, please rise. Shalom, atzmam avdu ve'enam. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. Page 598. In just a moment, if you hear the name of a loved one on our Shiva or Yortzeit list, and if you're comfortable doing so, you're invited to rise when you hear their name read aloud. We'll also ask for names if you're remembering someone not on the list, and then we'll all rise to join you for the recitation of the Mourner's Kaddish. Tonight we are marking the recent passing of Colleen Brewer. We mark the Yortzeits, the anniversaries of death for Anna Axelrod, Josiah Baker, Helen Barron, Hyman Barron, my grandmother Adelaide Bellows, Alfred Bernstein, Eva Bittman, Ruth Sachs Bryce, Beatrice Case, Helen Ehrenwald, Celia Gilman, Rose Goldstein, Pasquita Gutman, William Herzog, Samuel Kleinberg, Dorothy Wuchnick, Lisa Luna, Bernard Nierenstein, Isaac Oppenheimer, Samuel Palmer, Walter Pollack, William Mitchell Roberts, Howard Samuel Rubin, Rita Samuels, Walter Schoenfeld, Evelyn Schwalski, Adele Small, Helen Sockett, Jack Treppel, Robert Wass, Morton Weiner, Ira Walmer, and Chaim Yael, Zichronam Livracha. Who else is marking a Shiva, Shloshim, first year of mourning, or a Yortzeit, and would like to share a name out loud? May all of their memories always be a blessing to those who knew and love them. Together now we all rise, and we join in the words of the Ishatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shnei rabbah, v'amad yirach yirtei v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayet kol beit Yisrael, v'adalau b'zman kariv yimru amen. Yehei shnei rabbah v'rach le'olam homei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shnei kusha b'richu, La'elam yimkol birchata v'shirata, tushachata v'nechemata, da'amiram yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. We conclude this evening with an ode to Purim. Even, there's a violin player in a pleasure band always said that, at celebration, there's always something sort of bittersweet. As Jews, we're crying on one side and laughing and celebrating on the other. And we put them together in this very unique way. It's what we do. So even in such times, we can't not celebrate when we have the opportunity to celebrate a Simcha Marathon again at Purim. So we close on page 670. 673. I'm not sure that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, so on a different page. Okay. Chag Purim. I had a different place. All right. Chag Purim, Chag Purim, Chag Gadol HaYehudim, Maseh Kol Rashanim, Zvirat Likudim, Halarisha Rash Rash Rash, Halarisha Rash Rash Rash, Halarisha Rash Rash Rash, Balarashanim. Yeah, no English. Right, that's right. Purim Day, it's a happy holiday. We sing songs. Anyone? Sing and dance and play. Let's hear the groggers, rush, rush, rush. Let's hear the groggers, rush, rush, rush. Let's hear the groggers, rush, rush, rush. Happy holiday. Good work, everybody. All right. And with that really smooth ending. Shabbat shalom.
Yes.
You have to read it. Because you were the one who started me on that thought process. What we are. The American it's just a brilliant takedown of all of this. I think you will really like it.
I have a feeling I'll be sitting in my home sometime for a couple of weeks.
It's a big book.
500 years?
500 years.
Shabbat shalom.
On the other hand, there's a very high demand all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think our building is hired 5 years to cleaning staff.
Yeah, our environmental technicians are.
That's going to bring it really. That's why I think that.
There's something against John
Have you been on that?
Is it good?
It's like board meetings and you celebrate.